It's been almost a year since Justin Ubergang and Verity Metcalf watched their home go up in flames.
I'd woken up around about 1 o'clock in the morning, heard the dogs barking and carrying on crazy, and to my horror, the whole house was on fire virtually.
Justin and Verity live in the small town of Haywood in Western Victoria. They've been on their property for 6 years. They thought they were covered by AAMI, but so far the multinational insurance giant has refused to pay out on their claim.
It's horrific, it's traumatising, it's stressful, we both lose sleep, our health has deteriorated.
Brings you down, it does.
Since the fire, they've been living in a temporary building on the property. Verity is 7 months pregnant.
Girls, Amy and Erin, we lost everything in the fire.
All our clothes, furniture, all our personal belongings, photo albums,
Kids' toys.
Christmas presents that we had, baby items that we previously had.
Even Christmas gifts we had for the coming Christmas.
Yeah.
Ready to give to the kids, and just lost it all.
Justin and Verity say they took out a policy not only on the house, but the contents as well. AAMI rejected their claim with this explanation to the couple's lawyers.
We cannot accept your client's claim because we would not have insured your client had they told us they were running a business from their property.
Justin and Verity say the sticking point was this honesty box at the end of the driveway where they sold eggs to locals and passers-by.
Initially we were operating a free-range egg business, but when COVID came along, we couldn't keep operating that business. Since then, we were selling $50 or $60 worth of eggs a week out the front in our roadside stall.
Fed up with the lack of action over their complaints not being heard, Justin and Verity contacted lawyers Maurice Blackburn.
The running of this hobby egg farm business at the end of their driveway had absolutely nothing to do with the fire that destroyed their home, but more importantly, the running of that business could not have increased the risk to the insurer such that they wouldn't have insured them at all. And that's the position that the insurer is adopting.
In its letter to Maurice Blackburn, AAMI said,
When our external investigator questioned your client, he confirmed that he was self-employed and runs business activities on the property.
The letter did not nominate the roadside honesty box as the issue.
There's really no legal grounding for what they're doing, except they're the big guys and they just think that we'll crumble. If they push us hard enough, we'll fall over and give up.
The publicity about the case has already prompted a number of policyholders to change their cover.
If they've registered an ABN at their address, they're at a real risk of having this kind of outcome in their case as well, should they have a fire or a storm event or some other natural disaster occur and they then need to make a claim on their home and contents policy.
While the lawyers battle it out, Justin and Verity face an uncertain future.
The worst is that we're going to lose our farm. We're going to lose the property that we're on. We're going to be bankrupt. We've used up all our savings, had to borrow money from family and friends now. At the end of the day, it might not be much to Amy, but this is our whole life. There's no way I would have taken out insurance with them had I known this, and yet they're trying to tell me that I'm a crook.
Unbelievable. That kind of loophole is so infuriating to me. And you have to ask, where does it end? Like, who doesn't actually have something out of their home? If you've got a teenager creating a monetised TikTok account out of their bedroom, does that mean your house is no longer insured? You know, if you run a home office, does that mean your house is no longer insured?
Well, a lot of people have been working out of home for the last 2 years. So does that mean anyone who's got a AAMI insurance policy has got a void policy now if something goes wrong?
Well, yeah.
And what about people who sell stuff on Gumtree and Facebook Marketplace?
100%.
I mean, as you said, where does it end?
Yeah, or sew things for people, or you know, make scrunchies or face masks or home industry. How does that make it more risky for an insurance company? These little loopholes that they come up with are why there's public sentiment against those kind of businesses.
Yeah. Well, and this is the problem that, you know, so many people are at risk, you know, as a result of the increasing numbers of fires and floods that we're seeing, and everybody thinks that you're insured, you know, you don't pay that much attention to insurance policy, and we're finding people, you know, discovering things like this, or in this case, having it imposed upon them.
The good point the lawyer made, I thought, was that the harm that happened, like a fire, had nothing to do with the business as well. So, like, if they were If the harm was like stolen eggs or something out of the little honesty box, well, then that would be because of the business they were running. But like the fire had nothing to do with it.
Everyone should check their insurance policies.